there. Are you thinking about becoming one of the 2.4 million residents that we have here in Greater Orlando? Well, we'd love to have you, but I definitely want to make sure that you have the whole truth before you think about moving here. So today we're going to talk about the top 5 reasons you might not want to live in Greater Orlando. And we're going to get started right now. Orlando became a city in 1875, but it didn't really get popping until Walt Disney decided to bring Disney here in 1971. Since then, it has become a huge destination for all things tourists. It's brought in restaurants and theme parks and lots of jobs to the Central Florida area. So we're super thankful for the tourism here. However, the number 5 reason not to move to Orlando is, unfortunately, the amount of tourists. The tourists we love for income purposes, but it comes with a lot of traffic, a lot of people really not knowing where they're going, so they're quick lane changing, darting in front of you, and with that comes a lot of accidents. So the tourism here can be on the plus and the negative side. So that's the number 5 reason not to move to Orlando. The number 4 reason to not move to Orlando is we have no seasons. Now, you might say, Krystal, that's awesome. We don't have snow. Yes, you do not have snow. There'll probably be no shoveling here. No, pretty much I can guarantee there'll be no snow shoveling. But it does get kind of taxing to have hot days all the time. No seasons change, barely any leaves changing colors, just a lot of things that people take for granted in other parts of the United States and other parts of the world that we don't get to experience here. So while our 233 sunny days here in Orlando are beautiful, my number 4 reason to not move to Orlando is that we have not really any season change at all. My number 3 reason not to move to Orlando kind of goes along with my last one. It's the heat. The humidity here is crazy. Starting in about April all the way through October, it is pretty much sweltering outside. It's about 120 degrees with the heat index. Our humidity is pretty rotten. You feel pretty sweaty and sticky just from going outside. We do have lots of places to get relief here. We're only about an hour from either coast. You could be in the Gulf of Mexico or the Atlantic Ocean in about an hour. We have lots of lakes. And a pretty decent wind that comes through occasionally to cool it off, but it is definitely warm. So the heat is my number 3 reason not to move to Orlando. Included in the heat also brings afternoon showers. Orlando's weather, or really Florida's in general, is pretty crazy. You can have a beautiful sunny morning and then all of a sudden you're having a crazy thunderstorm in the afternoon. So just being aware that our weather changes like the wind here in Central Florida. But even an afternoon thunderstorm is sometimes a thankful relief because it brings a little bit of cool weather. One more weather-related issue to mention are hurricanes. Walt Disney chose the Orlando area because it is far enough inland that he felt that hurricanes wouldn't be a huge problem. But hurricanes do still bring, a pretty bad weather storm at least once a year. I remember a few years ago when Hurricane Irma came through, we actually lost power for 14 days. And let me tell you that in the middle of September, to lose air conditioning for 14 days was definitely an interesting event. My kids spent a lot of time basking in the pool and feeling kind of like we were camping because, man, it was hot. My number 2 reason to not move to the Central Florida area is the bugs. Well, we have mosquitoes and no-see-ums, and they are crazy here. We went camping a few weeks ago here in Apopka. My kids came home with, no joke, 25 bug bites each, and we used a lot of bug insect repellent, but still, they got them. I guess it's because they're so sweet. Also, it's important to note that we have a lot of palmetto bugs and a lot of spiders here. So you definitely want to make sure that you're having your house treated, either yourself or having someone come in and do that, just to make sure that the critters stay outside and not in your home. As a real estate agent, I also want to mention that we do have very good climate for termites. So when you're purchasing your home, you definitely want to have a very good termite inspection. You want to have your house treated for termites, have it bonded. You can do it yourself. I've done it myself. You dig a trench around your home, you mix the chemical, you put it in, and it treats your house for years. You can also have someone come and do it for you. There's lots of great companies here that do that. But I would definitely recommend that you want to have some type of treatment for palmetto bugs, spiders, and then for those pesky little termites that are so well known here in Central Florida. Well, being built kind of on swampland, we definitely take advantage of screened-in porches and screened-in pools. This is one great way that people here in Central Florida keep those pesky little bugs outside, and so they can still enjoy the outdoors, especially in the evenings, and the times when there are a lot of bugs out here in Central Florida. One more really fun bug to mention here in Central Florida are our love bugs. We get these twice a year. They last for about a month. With the name love bug, you'd think they're super cute. And while I can't say they're not kind of adorable, they're not so cute, splattered all over my window and my front hood of my car. You have to scrub them off pretty much daily. If you do not want that all over your car, it can mess with your paint, and they're just really annoying. So one more bug to mention is the Florida love bugs, and dealing with those. I know a lot of other places don't have them, and so that's something that we deal with here in Central Florida in April-ish, and then again in October. So the number 2 reason not to move to Central Florida is our bugs. Unfortunately, just our weather and our climate gives them a perfect breeding ground. So if you're not really into bugs, or at least willing to deal with the bugs, Central Florida and Orlando might not be your perfect new home. The number 1 reason not to move to Orlando is our traffic. It's crazy. Like I mentioned at the beginning with the tourists, there's lots of people in and out on an everyday basis. Plus, there's a lot of people that live here in general. The town has done a good job on trying to add toll roads, but guess what? It can cost $10 just to use a toll road to get across town. If you want to do that multiple times a day, that's going to get awfully expensive. One of our only big roads that runs through town that isn't a toll is I-4. And unfortunately, that road is often called the I-4 nightmare for a real reason. It is often traffic backed up. They are trying to build the I-4 Ultimate, but the road construction keeps getting delayed and changed, so we're not really sure when that's going to be finished. The construction here is kind of a continual thing on our roads, so you're often being rerouted or into one lane. So the traffic here in Central Florida can be difficult, but I do always tell clients that I used to live in Atlanta, Georgia, and the traffic there, I honestly believe, is even worse than our Central Florida traffic. So if you're from another big city, you might very well move here and think, man, this really isn't that bad. So there are a lot of good options. You can always take city roads, kind of bob and weave through town, or take advantage of one of the toll roads to get where you need to go in a much faster method. So the number 1 reason, although it's not horrible, is to make you aware of the traffic situation here in Central Florida. All right, well, that rounds out our top 5 reasons not to move to Central Florida. the bugs, the weather, the humidity, the traffic, and the tourists sometimes are not the best things ever. But you know what? Everywhere has goods and bads, and I hope that this top 5 reason gives you some good insight to here in Florida, but doesn't necessarily deter you from moving to one of the greatest places on earth. So if you have any questions or you'd like any more details about any of these, feel free to send me a message or give me a call. I'm always happy to chat with you. If you found this helpful and you'd like to see more videos in the future, please hit the subscribe button, click the little bell. It'll let you know every time I post a new video. Until then, I hope you are well, and I hope you remember that family is always the heart of the home. See you next time.